Hello, it's me, Hypercolum, and today I'm gonna rank all the enemies from the original Crash Trilogy, in no particular order. And I'm only gonna include enemies that are sentient, they're alive, they're characters, so I'm not gonna include any stage hazards like the bombs or the mines or anything like that. It basically has to have a soul, if you will. It has to be a character. So everything else is excluded. And I'm ranking these from S to F tier, S being the absolute favorite and F being the absolute worst. Also, the images that I'm using are of very varying quality, so please bear with me. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, so here we have the flytrap, Venus flytrap, whatever you want to call it. Well, I mean, it's pretty ordinary. It doesn't have a particularly good design, the other one's actually kind of better, so I'm gonna give this a C. It's a solid enemy, but nothing special. Okay, and this is just a different color version of the other one. It behaves pretty much the same. Not too different, so that's also gonna go in the C tier. Okay, now this is the better version of the enemy. The actual piranha plant that everyone knows. Now this is a really iconic enemy. I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna give it an A tier. It deserves that. It's classic enough. And the spiky robot thing. I actually like this a lot. I think this one deserves A tier. I just like these guys. And the skunk. For 10 years he's been sitting there. And he's not gonna do it no more. Anyway, the skunk's pretty basic. I'm gonna give it a C. The red lizard. Now this guy's a real mean asshole. I guess I would give this one, let me think. This guy's pretty cool. I would say he's a B, nothing too special, but he's a little bit better than the generic enemies. And here we have the monkey. There's a different versions of this guy, and I'm gonna rank them individually, but the first version in the Crash one is, nothing special. He's kind of a C tier. And here's the machine gunner. He looks really ugly in this high quality picture. I'm not sure how I feel about these Mafia guys. You don't see too many of them, dispose of them pretty quickly. At least they have a voice actor, I mean that's something. I guess it's a B. And the green lizard. Well, this one's not as good as the red one. But I guess it's a B, I would say. Pretty good enemy, nice design, he looks cool. Behold, the green blob. These are actually one of my favorites. I don't know, they're just so satisfying to kill. This one deserves... I'm not gonna give it a too high of a grade. Let's put this in the B tier. And the warthog, oh, I fucking hate these guys. You can't even kill these. They're immortal for some reason. Cortex should just take over the world with these things. Anyway, I hate it. It's, I'm gonna put it in D. Fuck this guy. The vulture. I like jumping on these guys. They're not very hazardous. They're almost not even an enemy when you think about it. But as an enemy, because it's not really threatening you, I guess it's a C. Ah, the turtle. The classic turtle. One of the first enemies you see. This one actually deserves a pretty high spot. It's a pretty nice, cute design. You actually can have some utility with these guys. You can jump on them, gain some extra height. Definitely an A tier. And the native. Now there's basically two variants in Crash 1, but I'm gonna count them as one, I guess. I don't know. But these guys, they're pretty nice. You can jump on them. You can hop on their shields a bit. They're kind of annoying to deal with sometimes, but they're not bad. I'm gonna give this a B. The spider, you see these in the temple levels. Kind of a low opinion on these. They're not very interesting. Not a particularly good design. I'm gonna put this on the C tier, I guess. The rat. Again, a very basic enemy. Not much to say here. I would actually throw this in the D tier. He's just not very good enemy. He's kind of boring. The iguana. Now these guys are pretty cool, I think. I like their design. You can jump on them. They're not difficult to deal with. They're kind of fun. I would put this in the B tier. The fish. Now this is one of those enemies that you barely notice that's even there. Yeah, it's a C. Try to zoom in for you for this one, but this is the ominous hand you see in the castle wall levels. But yeah, this is it's a cool enemy. It's a mysterious enemy until Insane Trilogy ruined that for us. But you know, Definitely an A. The electric lab assistant. I like these. I kind of like them. It's very satisfying to successfully spin on these guys after a few correct timings. It's very nice. I like these guys. These guys I would definitely put in the A tier. Crawling robots. Who knows what these are supposed to even be? Just some random robot design. I think Crash Wiki actually calls them robot turtles, which is kind of weird, but it's some kind of a robot. Anyway, it's kind of a weird design. Hard to say what it even is exactly. For me, this is kind of a D tier enemy. Ah, the crab. The very first enemy you see. It's got that lazy look on his face. Kind of doesn't care to be there. It's not even threatening Crash. Crash just kills it because he's insane. Likes to torture animals for no reason. The crab is iconic. It's got a good, solid design. It's an A tier. A tier enemy. The bat. The bats are fucking annoying. These are annoying. I don't like these. I would put this in the D tier. The camera bot. These are again very basic, very boring design. Actually, I don't think this is a very good enemy at all. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, oh, Cortex is watching you while you're going through his castles, but I don't think these are very good. This one I'm gonna put in the E tier. The yellow blob. Again, this is pretty neat. I guess it's kind of in the same league as the green one, but the green is a better color. This is kind of a... I'm gonna put this in the D tier. It's not as cool as the green one. Ah, the beaker assistant. This is one of my favorites. I love these guys. You gotta love the sound effect when they throw the beakers. And they're just kind of cool. They're one of the more threatening lab assistants, the more competent ones, I would say. This one is definitely an S tier enemy. I really love these guys. The barrel thrower. For some reason, the Crash 1 wiki has this classified as a... or they call him as a fat? Like, he is, but okay. Anyway, this guy is pretty nice. He's got a kind of a more unique design. Very memorable character, very nice design. I would put this in the A tier. Okay, so that's Crash 1 enemies. Let's hop into my favorite Crash game, Crash 2. Here's the mechanical turtle with the buzzsaws on the back. This one is very cool enemy, very memorable. Definitely in the A tier. The ones with the spikes in the sides, this one is also very memorable, but I don't like it as much as the previous one with the buzzsaws. I think I would put this in the B tier. The skeletal fish. I like the design, it's a pretty neat design. It deserves a spot in the B tier, I would say. Tentacle robot. I never cared much for the design of this. I like the way they function though. They're very nice to deal with. They have a cool, the way they switch from horizontal to vertical collision. They're cool enemies to play around with. I think this deserves a spot in the B tier. Oh, I really like this lizard. I guess it's just the colors. I like the blue and green, how they mesh. It's a cool looking lizard, but it's a pretty basic one. It's kind of like the rat, functions the same way. I mean, they do jump though, so that's something. I don't know, I really like these. I guess it's gonna have to be a B tier. The penguin. Now this guy, like the way they spin. I suppose the penguin would go in the, in the B tier, yes. The robot monkey. Basically the same monkey as Crash 1, but with robot parts. I never cared much for this one. It's kinda not very interesting. Kind of annoying sometimes. I'm gonna put this monkey in the D tier. The mechanical rat, whatever. Just because it's a cyborg doesn't really give it much, you know. It's got a robot eye. I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess, but I would still put it in the C tier. The jetpack lab assistant. Now this one is fucking awesome. I mean, look, it's like a cyborg. Well, they're robots, but half of its face is missing. It's got a jetpack. It's kind of threatening in the level. It's very satisfying to kill. It's got that cool Wilhelm scream. I would definitely put this in the S tier. This is one of the cooler enemies in the whole franchise. The hunter lab assistant. This guy's fun. He's got a British explorer's outfit, like a jungle outfit on. I like the blunderbuss. That's really fucking funny. This guy is definitely A tier material. The hippopotamus. The hippo is nice. I mean, it's basically not even an enemy, so I'm not even sure if it should be on the list. But since it basically attempts to drown you, I guess it's kind of an enemy. But the hippo is, I would put this in the D tier. The gorilla. Now look at this absolute unit of an enemy. This is what peak male performance looks like. Anyway, this happy little fella, I would put this guy in the A tier. He's memorable, he's got a great design, he's funny. Why not? The four-legged robot. This one's kind of interesting. I always thought these guys were cool, but not the most interesting design in the world. This is again one of those robots that kind of doesn't represent anything. It's kind of hard to figure out what it's even trying to be. I guess they don't have to have... I mean, it can be an abstract design. But this one, I would say it's a B tier. Robots are always cool in Crash games. The floating spiky robot from the sewer levels. It's not really a particularly cool robot design. There are definitely better ones like the previous one. It's a C tier for me. The purple eagle. Okay, I fucking hate these guys. Like, every time I try to take one of these out, like the hitbox is really weird. Like you think you're gonna dodge it, but it still hits you somehow. Like, fuck these guys. This guy is definitely gonna be put in the D tier. Fuck it. The mouse. Again, a very boring basic enemy. Not much to say here. D tier. The eel from Crash 2. Again, this is barely an enemy, but maybe it's more of a part of an obstacle, part of the electrified water thingy, but I mean, it's an enemy basically. This one's cool. I like it. It's kind of ominous, the way it slithers in the water trying to kill your ass with electricity. I'd say it's a B tier, but then again, you can't actually kill it. Again, it's kind of an unconventional enemy. I'm gonna have to put it in C. The splitter piranha plant or whatever. This one is, I don't know. I kind of hate these guys. And I also find it weird that they flip the colors from Crash 1, where the basic ones are red, and in Crash 2 the basic ones are purple. I always found that was kind of weird. Like, why not have these ones be purple? Anyway, I don't like these guys. It's a D tier for me. This robotic mouse thingy, it's kind of a strange design. It almost looks like it has fur on the top. Like, what is that? It's like a cyborg? It's not like a full robot? That's kind of gross. I don't know. This one looks kind of weird. Not a very good design. The glowy eyes are kind of cool. Yeah, this one's a D tier for me. This is definitely one of my favorites. Look at this guy. He's fucking awesome. He's got that frill, that glowy orange thing around his neck. He's a cyborg. He makes cool sounds. He has a really badass walking cycle. This one, instant S tier for me. The lumberjack lab assistant. I like his outfit. It's a really snazzy outfit for a lumberjack. It's also kind of nice how he tries to pummel your ass. But again, it's kind of a tough enemy to deal with sometimes. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in the B tier just because he looks so cool. The welder assistant. I always try to kill these guys too early. I don't know why. Even though I've been playing this game since I was like 7 or something. But still, I always get the timing wrong. This guy's just okay. He's gonna be a C for me. The seal. Again, it's kind of a basic enemy. Keeps saying arf, arf. Not much to say here. It's kind of boring, bland, not very interesting. I'm gonna put it in the D tier. I always like the vacuum robots. I guess I would put in the B tier. The orcas. You don't see these guys that much. They kind of just quickly go by since you go through those levels so fast. You don't see them that much, but yeah, I guess, you know, the orca is, it's a cool stage hazard. It makes sense to have them in the Arctic levels. But again, it's not very, it's more of a prop almost, because it's really easy to dodge them. I'm gonna put this in the D tier. The Tiki guy. Now just look at this happy little fella here, except when he's angry. I'm not even sure if it's sentient, like, I'm only including sentient characters, but I guess this one's alive? I don't know. It probably has a soul, maybe. But whatever, this one's cool. He's really nice. He's got a funny face. I like the way he switches from happy to angry. It's definitely an A tier for me. Let's put him in the A tier. Now just look at this little cute little fella over here, huh? But no, these guys are assholes. Fuck them. D tier. The shielded lab assistants. Now these guys will fuck you up if you fuck up even once when you try to hit them. If your timing's off even once, they will fucking kill you. These guys are kind of tough to deal with. But still, I don't hate him. But at the same time, I don't love him either. Would I say it's an average enemy? No. Put these guys in the D tier. And the Crash to Venus flytrap, Piranha Plant, whatever. Again, it's a very iconic enemy. Not sure why they turned them purple in Crash 2. But, I guess it's a B. The bees. Fuck the bees. Like, I hate the bees so much. Like, not only are they a pain in the ass, quite literally, but the noise that they make is really annoying. So this is one enemy that I have to put in the F tier. These guys just suck. There's nothing good about them. Fuck them. Fuck the bees. The armored armadillo. Isn't that funny? Should have just called it the armadillo. Get it? Armadillo. Anyway, this guy's look at him. He's just so happy. He's just so cute. He's a trooper. He's just a little trooper. I like him. He's A tier. Definitely A tier. And the regular armadillo, this one's kind of boring. I like the mechanical version better. This one's just kind of meh. I'm gonna put him in the D tier. The Arctic lab assistants. Not much to say about these guys. They're kind of funny, the noises they make when they lift those crates. But again, nothing special. Again, it's barely an enemy. I mean, it's kind of a stage hazard prop kind of thing. I'm gonna put this in the D tier. Oh boy, here we go. On to Crash Tree. The two-headed lab assistant. This guy's fat as fuck. And this guy's actually kind of funny. He's one of the funnier lab assistants, and that gives him some extra points. And for that, I guess he deserves a B tier. The Bandifish, the Crash Bandicoot, ancestor, whatever, missing link, whatever you want to call it. This guy's just funny. I like him. He's a cute. He's doofy. He's a doofus. Funny, interesting, creative design. I'm definitely gonna put this guy in the A tier. The China Lab Assistant. This is the one that spins the stick or whatever it is. Again, you're just gonna go past these guys. They're not very interesting. It's kind of an E tier for me. They didn't really utilize these guys too much. And another China Lab Assistant. It's again kind of a stage hazard. He's just kind of minding his own business. He's barely even an enemy. I'm gonna put this in the E tier. This is just not a very good enemy. Again, E tier. Do I even have to repeat the same thing again? The UFO. I don't like the motorcycle levels to begin with, but the UFO it's kind of neat. UFOs are cool. But again, I can't give it a too high of a grade. It's barely an enemy in a stage that I kind of hate, so it's gonna be a D. The frog that rapes you without consent. This guy, I mean, what can I say? It's a D tier. The crocodile. The crocodile is kind of a funny design. It's kind of fat. You can tell he's had a good meal. I have nothing against the crocodile. I think it's a solid enemy design. It's a C. C tier. What do you even call this one? It's like a scarab shield lab assistant, whatever. I don't like these guys. These are kind of stiff to deal with, kind of frustrating. It's gonna be a D. The flamethrower lab assistant. This one's okay. Got nothing against it. Don't love it, don't hate it. Let's put him in the C tier. The genie. Doesn't grant you any wishes, that's for sure. Not a particularly interesting design. Let's put him in the D tier. If you've seen my Crash 3 review, you know what I feel about these levels. Fuck them. It's a D tier. No, it's an E tier. Let's put him in the E tier. E tier. I don't mean those tires. I mean, I'm gonna put it in the E tier. The Knight. Again, one of those enemies that I never liked how it behaved. This is just one of those enemies that's kind of unexpectedly gets you even when you think it's an easy enemy. But he gives you a pretty funny death animation by cutting off Crash's legs, and then he's gonna walk off. It's gonna give him some points. But not more than a C though. Is this guy even an enemy? He's just minding his own business, operating some machine. This one is, again, a really boring enemy. Gonna put this in the E tier. The monkey with the vases or whatever. The monkey's kind of funny, the way he gets stuck in them. That's gonna give him some value, some extra points, some comedic value. Let's put him in the B tier. They gave him some nice animations. The mummy, now this guy's pretty cool. The way he exits from the casket, and he has a really creepy sound effect. I like him. This guy's cool. Let's give him a B. Oh good lord, I hate these monkeys. This one's gonna be a low grade. I'm gonna put this guy in E tier. Actually, would I put this in the F tier? Like, this is one of those enemies that's really annoying. Yeah, I have to put more stuff in the F tier. Let's put the monkey in F tier. The pterodactyl. Again, this is one of those enemies that you don't spend too much time looking. They're just kind of there. You know, one of them takes you to the secret area. Not much to say about these guys. Gonna give this a D. And the scorpion. It just kinda goes back and forward, you spin it. It's nothing special. It's a C. The shark. Now the shark has a really nice design. Very cartoony, kind of expressive, kind of funny. Sort of memorable, like the way he eats Crash. I guess that's gonna bump him. It's still kind of regular. It's a C. Now this is one of those guys that gives you a funny death animation with Crash's underwear, but I never really cared too much for these guys. Again, a C. The snake, a very basic enemy once again. It's gonna have to be a D tier. Don't hate it, don't love it. It's just kinda there. A snake, what can you say? Now these guys are cool. This is a really creative design. It's like a half casket mummy with like spikes on the sides. That's really creative. That's really rad. Yeah, this one deserves a place in the A tier. And then we have the lab assistant that emerges from tar. I think that's what it is, from a tar pit. These guys are kind of spooky, kind of intimidating in their own way. It's kind of weird seeing lab assistants in that era, like, you know, just like this. Would have kind of been cooler to see one of those cavemen lab assistants that they scrapped. This one's just kind of C. The wizard. Now look at that outfit. That looks cool. He's got a good outfit. Very stylish. One of the more funny, interesting looking lab assistants. He has a cool particle effect in his staff. Turns Crash into a frog. And the way you knock him out, the way you can knock his clothes off, that's very funny. I like this guy. This guy's gonna have to be... Is he enough to be in S tier? Let's put him in the S tier. Yeah, he can go there. Ugh, the underwater levels suck. I really can't grade these enemies too high because I hate these levels so much, but the eel is, it's not very dangerous. I'm gonna give this a C. The goat. Greatest of all time. But not really, he's just kinda regular. It's a C. Police car. Again, I contemplate if this is even an enemy, but since there's probably a sentient character inside there, I guess this can go in this list. I don't like the motorcycle levels. It's barely a character, it's barely an enemy. It's gonna have to be an E. The pirate lab assistant. I kinda hate these guys. It's gonna have to be a D tier. Pufferfish, it's kinda funny. Especially the death animation that results from getting hit by one. That kind of is a saving grace, but oh, I guess it's a C. Not quite a D. I don't hate it that much. The scarab. I always liked bugs like this, especially really bright, vibrant green ones. So this is a bug that I like. I also like how it switches from being a ground enemy to a flying enemy. So this actually, yeah, this is an A tier, definitely. The seagull. Again, I wasn't even sure if this was an enemy because every time I play these levels, it's just kind of go past these guys. You barely even notice that they're there. Not very hazardous, not very unique. This is an E tier enemy. The white shark. Again, you barely even notice these in the jet ski levels. It's an E. The UFO. The UFO is kind of cool. It's got a cool particle effect for the beam. Nothing against these guys. I guess I'm gonna put this in the C tier. The plane levels are again one of those levels that I just hate. There's nothing good about them. They're just boring. And the enemies are really fucking annoying because they keep respawning. You're just trying to focus on destroying the enemy blimps, but yeah. I'm gonna put these guys in the E tier. They're just annoying. Now look at this beast. Isn't this just one of the coolest robots you've ever seen? Now this, I mean, combined with the cool design and the fact that you destroy the robot by shooting his twerking ass, I think that's funny enough that it deserves to be in the S tier. This guy is just awesome. Okay, and finally, we have the pirate lab assistant that spins the anchor. This guy sucks. Fuck him. Let's put him in the E tier. Okay, and that's all of the enemies in the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Again, I did this quite fast. I'm not really sure if this list makes much sense. You may disagree, you may agree, you may think I'm an idiot, whatever. But this is the list I came up with. I hope you at least agree with something. I was contemplating on including the polar bear from Crash 2, but is he really an enemy? Like in the conventional sense? Like he's more of a stage hazard? He's kind of like the boulder basically, so I'm not sure if he should be on this list, but I guess if I were to put him on this list, it would probably go pretty high because of how iconic he is, maybe A even. But yeah, thanks for watching, keep playing Crash 2, don't play the rest, they're not that good, trust me.